What if your 9 to 5 job, the thing you've been told your whole life is responsible and safe, is actually the single biggest obstacle standing between you and real financial freedom? What if the paycheck you're chasing every 2 weeks is not a ladder, but a leash? Why do most employees, intelligent, hardworking, dedicated people, still find themselves broke, exhausted, and anxious about money, even after years of showing up on time and doing everything right? Could changing the way you think, not your degree, not your salary, not your city, actually transform your financial life in as little as 6 months? And here's the one that might sting a little. Are you actually building something when you go to work every day, or are you just renting your life out to someone else 1 hour at a time in exchange for the illusion of security? These aren't rhetorical questions. I'm going to answer every single one of them today. And by the end of this video, you're either going to feel deeply uncomfortable or deeply motivated. Maybe both. Either way, something is going to shift. Let's get into it. Let me paint you a picture. Marcus is 34. He has a college degree, a decent apartment, and a job at a mid-sized company where he manages logistics. He makes $58,000 a year. By every standard metric of adulting, Marcus is doing fine. But Marcus checks his bank account on the 13th of every month with a kind of quiet dread. He knows what's coming: rent, car payment, subscriptions, groceries, and he knows mathematically that after all of it, he'll have maybe $200 left until the next paycheck. And that $200 has to stretch across 2 weeks, cover any emergency, any surprise, any moment where life doesn't cooperate with his spreadsheet. Marcus isn't irresponsible. Marcus isn't lazy. Marcus is trapped inside a system that was designed deliberately to keep him exactly where he is. Here's the uncomfortable truth about the 9 to 5 structure. It was never built to make you wealthy. It was built to make the company wealthy using your time. You are, in economic terms, a resource. Your time is the raw material. Your employer buys it wholesale at a fixed rate and sells the output at a massive markup. Think about that for a second. Every skill you develop, every client relationship you build, every system you improve, the financial upside of all of that goes to the organization. You get your salary, maybe a 3% raise if you're lucky. And if the market shifts, if leadership changes, if a board somewhere decides to restructure, you're out with 2 weeks' notice and a handshake. That's not stability. That's a lease agreement on your life. And most of us signed it at 22 without reading the fine print. So why don't people just leave? Why don't they build something of their own? Because of something psychologists call loss aversion. The human brain is wired, genuinely, biologically wired, to feel the pain of a loss roughly twice as intensely as the pleasure of an equivalent gain. Which means the fear of losing a stable paycheck feels more powerful than the excitement of potentially doubling your income. This is the invisible prison of the employee mindset. It's not stupidity, it's not weakness, it's neuroscience being weaponized against your ambitions. And then there's something else, something more cultural. Most of us grew up watching our parents go to work. We were taught that the path to a good life was study hard, get a degree, find a good company, work your way up, retire at 65. That path was the script, and when you've been handed a script your whole life, improvising feels terrifying, even when the script is clearly not working. The 9 to 5 mindset tells you that time equals money. Put in your 8 hours, get your check, go home. Repeat. But here's what that mindset doesn't teach you. That relationship between time and money is a ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day, which means there is a hard mathematical limit on how much money you can ever make trading hours for dollars. And the people breaking through that ceiling, they're not working harder, they're thinking differently. Let me introduce you to someone else. Priya is 27. She doesn't have a corner office. She has a ring light, a decent microphone, and a camera she bought secondhand on eBay. She started a YouTube channel about personal finance 18 months ago. Her first video got 43 views. 30 of them were probably her own rewatches. Today, Priya makes more in a single month from her channel through ad revenue, sponsorships, and a digital course she created once and sells on autopilot than Marcus makes in 6 months at his logistics job. And Priya isn't some rare genius. She's not exceptionally beautiful or extraordinarily talented. What Priya has is a different operating system in her head. The creator mindset doesn't think in paychecks, it thinks in assets. Every video Priya publishes is an asset. It keeps generating views, keeps generating income long after she's stopped working on it. A video she made 8 months ago about budgeting for beginners still brings in $400 a month. She made it once, she got paid for it thousands of times. This is called leveraged income, and it is the single most important concept separating the financially free from the financially stuck. In the 9-to-5 world, when you stop working, your income stops. Full stop. In the creator world, when you stop working, the work keeps working. Your content, your course, your brand, your systems, they run while you sleep, while you travel, while you spend a Tuesday afternoon at a coffee shop doing literally whatever you want. That's not a fantasy. That's a business model. Here's another thing creators understand that employees almost never do. Failure is data, not disaster. In a corporate job, failure is career-threatening. One bad quarter, one botched presentation, one wrong move politically, and suddenly you're getting managed out. The system punishes experimentation, so employees stop experimenting. They play it safe. They become invisible. But a YouTuber, a creator, they fail publicly, constantly, and cheaply. They upload a video that flops. They try a new format that nobody watches. They launch a product that sells 3 copies. And then, this is the key, they look at the data, adjust their approach, and try again. This is the same mentality that built every great company you've ever admired. Amazon lost money for nearly a decade. Netflix mailed DVDs in red envelopes before it reinvented television. Every overnight success story has roughly 1,000 nights of failure hiding behind it. The creator doesn't wait until everything is perfect to start. The creator starts, then makes it perfect. And this shift alone, from "I need permission and certainty before I act" to "I'll figure it out as I go and use the feedback to improve," this shift is worth more than any MBA you could ever buy. Let's talk about something that sounds trendy, but is actually one of the most financially powerful ideas of the last 2 decades: personal branding. In the old economy, your security came from the company you worked for. You were a Kodak employee, an IBM employee, a GE employee. The company's stability was your stability, and you saw how that worked out. In the new economy, you are the brand. Your name, your knowledge, your perspective, your credibility, these are the assets. And unlike a job, no one can downsize your personal brand. No merger can eliminate your audience. No restructuring can fire your subscribers. When Priya, our creator from earlier, when she built an audience of people who trust her financial advice, she built something invisible but enormously valuable. That audience is her distribution channel. Her credibility is her competitive moat. And because she invested time in building those things instead of just collecting paychecks, now she has something Marcus doesn't: options. She can create a course, she can consult, she can partner with brands, she can launch a book, she can launch a community. Every direction she turns, there's a door, because she built the thing that opens doors: trust at scale. Most 9-to-5 workers have deep expertise, incredible knowledge, years of hard-won experience, but they've never packaged it, distributed it, or monetized it outside their employer's 4 walls. That expertise is locked in a vault. The creator mindset takes that same expertise and broadcasts it, turning knowledge into income streams, reputation into revenue, value into freedom. I want you to imagine 2 versions of yourself 5 years from now. Version 1, you stayed on the path. You kept showing up, you got the raise, maybe 2, maybe 3. You have a bit more comfort, a slightly nicer apartment, a newer car. But you also still feel that low-grade anxiety on the 13th of the month. You're still one layoff away from financial crisis. You're still waking up to an alarm set by someone else's schedule. You still have that quiet, nagging feeling that you're capable of more, that somewhere inside you is someone bigger than their job title, but you never quite found the time to find out. Version 2. 5 years ago, you made a different choice. You didn't quit your job recklessly, you didn't blow your savings, but you started something. You started spending your evenings not on Netflix, but on building. Maybe a channel, maybe a newsletter, maybe a freelance skill, a digital product, a community. You made things that were embarrassing at first. You failed, adjusted, improved.
Slowly, and then suddenly, something caught. You built an audience of 10,000 people who care what you say. You launched a $197 course and sold it 200 times in a year. You have a second income that is now larger than your first. And one Tuesday, not a dramatic day, not a cinematic moment, you just didn't renew your lease on someone else's dream. You stepped into your own. Both of these futures are available to you right now, today, this moment. The only difference between them is not talent, it's not timing, it's not luck. It's mindset. Actually start making this shift without blowing up your life. So let's make this real. Here's how you actually start making this shift without blowing up your life. Step 1. Stop consuming, start creating. It doesn't matter what. Write, record, teach, build. Pick one thing you know deeply and start sharing it, imperfectly, now. The platform matters less than the habit of creation. Step 2. Think in assets, not hours. Every week, ask yourself, did I create something this week that will still pay me back in a year? If the answer is always no, you're building someone else's asset with your time. Start building yours. Step 3. Build a tiny audience before you need one. You don't need 1 million followers. You need 1,000 people who genuinely care. 1,000 true fans can sustain a creative business. Start with 10, then 100. Direction matters more than scale at the beginning. Step 4. Study leverage obsessively. Read about royalties, digital products, content monetization, licensing, equity. Understand that the wealthy don't sell time, they sell systems. They sell access. They sell value at scale. Start learning the language of leverage until it becomes fluent in your mind. Step 5. Protect your transformation fiercely. The people around you, your colleagues, your family, sometimes even your closest friends, will not always understand what you're doing. They'll call it risky, naive. They'll tell you to be practical. This is not malice. This is their own fear speaking. Be kind to them, and then ignore them politely, completely. Here's the thing about the creator mindset that nobody tells you. It's not really about YouTube. It's not about going viral or chasing fame or becoming an influencer. It's about reclaiming the relationship between your effort and your outcome. It's about building a life where what you create, not just when you clock in, determines what you earn. The 9-to-5 system isn't evil. It served a purpose for an era, but that era is shifting faster than most people realize. The tools to build, distribute, and monetize ideas have never been more accessible, more affordable, or more powerful than they are right now. The question isn't whether the opportunity exists. It does, undeniably. The question is whether you'll decide to see it. Marcus is still checking his bank account with dread. Priya just booked a one-way flight to Lisbon, not running away from anything, but toward a life she designed herself. One video, one lesson, one asset at a time. You are not Marcus by destiny. You are not Priya by luck. You are whoever you decide to become, starting with how you think. So here's your one action for today. Not a course to buy, not a channel to start, not a product to launch. Just one quiet, honest question to sit with. Am I building something, or am I just surviving? Because the moment you can answer that question honestly and decide you want a different answer is the moment everything starts to change. I'll see you in the next one.